It's insane. Wait till I tell you about this thing. It's fucking crazy.
Alrighty. I can't believe it's the 6th. Hi there. Happy Sunday. It is October the 6th, 2019, and I'm Eric. Talking at you as always from beautiful downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, where Wilco's new album dropped the same day as the Joker movie. So if you've been wondering where your middle-aged, sensitive, but kind of douchey white friends have been, they're probably all recovering from dehydration from multiple unplanned spontaneous orgasms.
Well done.
Oh,
that's funny.
Where's all the middle-aged white guys? Oh, Joker movie and Wilco album. Gotcha.
Yeah, that would do it. That would be it.
Thank God I wasn't around for that. How's it going, Gordon?
It's going all right.
Good stuff.
Yeah. That's as far as I can say. Sales are shitty for me, but other than that, it's good.
Sales are shitty for me too.
Yes.
At least your customers don't use PayPal.
Yes, that is very, very true.
So, I don't know if you got the photo I sent you, the last photo I'll probably ever send from that phone, but we were at 69 on Anchor this morning. I thought you'd like that.
I saw that. That is fucking fantastically funny.
So that puts us over 10,000 when you add up everything else. Very, very cool. I think that 69's already rolled over, but I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Thank you, everybody, for that. That is very, very cool. It just keeps going up and up. And Facebook engagement's been great. EricandGord.com, even though it's a piece of crap, it's doing fantastic. We're just not pulling the trigger on those emails. So that's the next thing we got to make happen is some fan emails. They have to happen. At least one. Or I swear to God, I'll stop this goddamn show. I won't do another episode till I get an email, goddammit. I will. I absolutely will. But that's very cool. It's just sending your emails, and that's awesome. What else did I have to say? We have no contest coming up. We have a bunch of advertising space we're trying to give away. You guys already know that if you listen. And what else did I have to babble about? Huge issues with Eric and with the fuckEricandGord.com. I'm having a bit of administrative problems with that. So by tomorrow night, fuckEricandGord.site should be up and running. Midday tomorrow, possibly. And then I'll get that all sorted out. But we will have a nice, shiny new website up by midday tomorrow.
Woo!
Yeah, it's going to be kind of exciting. Other than that, I don't have much else to tell you guys. Keep listening to podcasts and my American friends who know about Canadian politics. Write in, get in touch with us, DM on Facebook or whatever you'd like to do, and get on the show. Talk about how you guys feel about our election, because it's a huge one for you, too. 4 years of Trump Scheer could be absolutely frightening for all of us.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
Although I'm not really digging a Biden-Trudeau love fest for the next 4 years either. That would be worse than Trudeau-Obama, which was just 4 years of nothing. They posed together and they looked real good. That's it.
That's it. Nothing else.
That's all that happened. Oh, my God. So how do you want to do this tonight? Good. I'm not going to bitch about too much, and I don't think I have other podcasts to plug. Oh, yeah, I do. I have them right here with me, so we'll do one of those real quick. Dan Gaskell, the American Patriot, stories that made the heroes out of the Confederacy and stuff like that. I think it's all war stories. It's under 10 minutes, though, so it's awesome. It's called The American Patriot. Little 10-minute podcast for you guys to listen to anywhere you listen to ericandgord.com. And it's all about American patriots, which in 10 minutes, I don't know how much you can get off, but I kind of actually want to hear that now. All right. What did you want to talk about? Something? You want me to babble on about boring shit for a little while, or what? Well,
let's talk. Let's start with this thing. We'll talk about what I got here, and we'll see where it takes us from there.
Oh, and I have a fun game I want to that I didn't invent, but I like it. So we'll do your thing first.
I like games. Cool. Okay, so I was listening to my favorite little CBC radio there, and they were doing a little, like basically like an expose, if you will, in Sweden. There's been talk for years, and I mean years and years and years, about shit going on in the fire departments, of how the actual fire departments are being run in the firehouses.
Right. Yeah.
There's been complaints about racism, sexism, shit like this, and basically it was just a straight up boys club, and the lack of things getting done. So after basically nothing being done about any of this, they ended up the board that runs of the government, the local government, ended up hiring a guy to fix it. Now this guy is not a firefighter, has zero firefighter experience, but he did run the SWAT team squad for the police department. So known this guy is very well known as being a complete and total hard ass, but he gets in there and he gets results. One of the things that he started doing with the SWAT thing was that when he was first given the job to change how the police forces were being run, what he discovered was that cops were stealing. They're basically breaking every law that they're charging other people for.
Right.
So he got in there and he basically just leveled the fucking playing field and fired a whole lot of people, brought up a slew of fucking cops on charges, and got a lot of people thrown in fucking jail for it, and changed how policing was done.
So they figured, right, let's bring him in and see what he can do for change. So
that's what they did. Now listen to this shit. This is fucked. So his first day on the job, he gets greeted with nobody in the firehouse. Nobody showed up in protest of this guy coming in.
Wow, that actually happened somewhere I worked one time. It was actually to protest someone being fired.
Interesting you brought that one up. So we'll get into that in a minute. So that was one of the first things. So that was like the first, first few days. And then, so then at the end of the fucking, so then he shows up the next day but also when he showed up, the other problem was he had nowhere to park his car, because the entire parking lot was filled with not only the guys' cars, but with like boats and RVs and things like this. The guys were using it as their own personal parking spaces. Sure. And their justification reason for it was, they work 24-hour shifts. So they're on for 24 hours, and they said, well, fuck you. We basically live here. This is our place. So they treated it as such. So
I kind of got to side with them on that.
To an extent, absolutely. Now, one of the things that they're looking to change about this was they were going to take them off of 12-hour shifts and just put them on straight-up 8-hour shifts. That's one of the ways to combat that. Okay, you think you guys fucking live here? Fuck you. All right, we're going to cut these things down. You're not on 24-hour shifts. You're going to do 8-hour shifts. Go fuck yourself. So they started doing that, and they started doing like little changes here and there. Now, when this guy shows up and he tells everyone, he goes, "Okay, move the fucking, get your shit out of the parking lots. It's not your fucking spot. You're not allowed to park your stuff here. Get the fucking stuff out of here." They all said, "No, not moving it." He goes, "Okay, well, if you don't move it, then I'm going to fucking bring somebody in here to remove it all." And they're like, "Fuck you, go ahead." Because they're just basically just calling his bluff. So he's like, "Okay." So he literally called his former police force, and he hired a police crane. A full-on crane to lift the fucking things off, take them off the property, and drop them off the property line.
That's awesome.
So the crane shows up, and the guy's like, "Holy fuck, this guy's serious." So they all moved their stuff, except for one guy. One guy's like, "Go fuck yourself. I'm not moving my stuff." So he moved it for him.
Sure.
With the boat on its roof.
I love it.
Upside down and set it on the fucking side. Go, "There's your fucking boat, you dick. Fuck you. I told you to move it." Then that same guy, he transferred him out of that. He put him on probation and then fucking sent him over to a different fucking fire hall. So "You're not fucking working here anymore. Fuck you. You're out."
Sure. That's always a good way to do it.
Which is a night, deal with the fucking problem.
Yeah.
So the guy turns around and sues him in court and says, "You can't fucking do this to me. I'm a fucking firefighter."
Yeah.
And of course, the best thing is when they get into court, this guy pleads his case about saying how this guy's abusing his power, and he turns. So the judge is like, "Okay, do you want to explain all these accusations against you?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm in charge of the firehouse. I told him to move his boat. He refused, so I moved it for him." The judge turns and looks back at the guy and goes, "Is that what happened?" The guy's like, "Well, yeah." He goes, "Case dismissed."
Yeah.
And that's just it. Boom, fucking case was dropped. So it's like, oh, so now everybody's like, hey, holy fuck, this dude's pretty serious.
Sure.
So now they're getting in there. Now he starts finding out that there's one, they have a group in there, and now out of the city, there's 550 firefighters.
Okay.
He is in charge of 250 of them.
Oh, wow.
So 550 firefighters, there's 5 female firefighters.
Sure.
And out of that 550, there was only, what was it? Less than 10% people of anything that's not white.
Sure. Now, before we go too far down that road, I don't know that Sweden is a particularly multicultural country to begin with.
Over 1/3 of the population is non-white.
Okay. So
the numbers do not reflect.
I gotcha. That was where I was going.
Right. And on top of that one, they have hired other females and other people of other races. Sure. But the way they're treated, like one particular female staff, she was in the middle of taking a shower, and the guys went in and kicked in her shower door while she was showering.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Black guys were having nooses placed on their beds.
Oh, wow.
Muslim guys were having crosses placed on their fucking lockers.
Right.
Things like that. So just some really sort of pretty fucked up shit.
Sure.
For years, people have complained, lodged formal complaints, and they were always told, it's just a hazing, get over it.
Yeah. Which
right? So it's just blown off. I'm all for hazing people. Like, I'm all for, like, you start a guy off, you fuck with him. When I worked for this one company, one of my first week on the job, one of the fucking managers was like, I need you to go to the basement and grab me a case of Blue Steam. I'm like, what the fuck is Blue Steam? He goes, it's a box. It says fucking Blue Steam. I'll go get me a box of Blue Steam. All right. I'm thinking Blue Steam could be any product.
Yeah, of course.
He made it selling a specific product, so I fucking turned around. Now, the funny thing was I immediately, because I'm thinking, I don't remember ever seeing a basement in this place. So I walked up to one person, one of the other people in the office, and like, hey, is there a fucking door to the basement? They're like, there's no basement here. I'm like, okay. So I turned around and I walked outside, and I sat outside the smoking pit for 4.5 hours. And then I walked in. They're like, oh, where you been? I'm like, oh, I've been looking for the basement. And they're like, you didn't find it. I'm like, yeah, that's a great joke. I just got paid for 4.5 hours as I sat outside and fucking smoked my brains out. Yeah, it didn't work. You're a dick.
Yeah.
So I'm all for hazing. But
sure.
Again, it's innocent hazing. But you're not going to put a fucking noose on a black guy's fucking bed and be like, I'm just fucking with you. No, you're not.
Nah, that's
fucked up. That's too far.
That's kind of crossing a line. But on the other hand, you got to keep in mind that these guys, like, I don't know if you've ever, my family's all very medical. My mom and my brother being a nurse and whatnot. And, they deal with so much death and pain and misery all day that they take it out on each other in some pretty stupid ways sometimes. It just kind of goes with the territory. So you have to have a thick skin to be in that situation to begin with. I'm not like giving them a, I'm not absolving them for anything they've done, but I'm just saying, it kind of comes with the territory in a situation like that.
Again, I'm all up for hazing. I'm all up for playing little practical jokes. But everybody knows there's a difference between a practical joke and flat out doing something to make somebody feel like an outsider.
Sure. And let me just real quick before you finish off here. I don't want to ruin any illusions that young people have, but something that really sucks as you get older and you figure out firemen are dicks.
Yes.
It's sad because you think they're heroes, and everyone's wanted to be a fireman at one point in their childhood, their young childhood. Everyone at some point wanted to be. If you're our age, it was because Backdraft. Um, I don't know. There's been a movie since Backdraft that cool, but there's TV shows and shit. Everyone wants to be a fireman, and then it sucks because you hang out with them when you're our age, and you get to know a couple of them, and they're all assholes. Every single one of them they're all pricks. They're all big dumb jock pricks. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just had to throw that in there.
Oh,
I know one.
You're not lying.
Because here they do 4 days on, 4 days off. At least in North Vancouver, that's what they were doing. So they all had like a second job. So I met a lot of like firemen who were landscapers or drywallers, whatever. They did something just to keep themselves working for the 4 days they were off. So I do know a couple of them, and they're all dicks. If any of them are listening tonight, you're dicks. All right. You know who you are, fucking Shamrock, whatever. All right. He's a super dick. He's like chief of the dicks.
See, I know my hometown, like I've known a few firefighters, and I know one guy who used to be a dick and became a really great guy after he became a firefighter.
That's cool.
So I know firefighters in this town seem to be pretty nice. That's the thing I know.
Sure.
At least as far as I could tell on the surface, anyways. I've been to firehouses before, but who knows?
And the population of your town is 13, I think.
About 130,000.
130,000. Really, that much? It's bigger than Kelowna then.
It's huge right now. Yeah, no, Milton's fucking huge right now.
I didn't realize it was that big. I take it all back. You're all wonderful. How come your events page sucks? I bet the firemen made it.
Yeah, probably. That's funny. So anyway, so these firefighters now this guy in charge now. I got to keep on. They all have these Swedish names, so I can't pronounce any of them. Sven, Olaf, Geared.
I love those. I love anything with a J in it. Anything Swedish with a J in it. It's my favorite.
Jargon.
Oh, I love it. I wish we had that in English.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, we just get Eric and Gortz.
Geared. Eric and Geared. All right.
They discovered a thing called the Brotherhood. And this is your white Puritans that believe that that firefighting should only be run by white people, only by pure blood Swedes.
Right. Which I know there is a big movement in that country.
Yes, there is.
It's very subversive in that manner.
So this dude found one guy that he was known as, the fuck did they call him? Cancer something. And the person doing the interviewing was like, well, what does that mean? He goes, oh, it's a horribly fucking, it's a really bad term.
Cancer Furigan.
Cancer Furigan. But they said, yeah, like no, like this guy, like he wears a Nazi jacket. He's refused. They're doing training at a mosque, and he refused to go. A whole bunch of random stuff. He's one of the guys that put a fucking cross on a Muslim's fucking locker. He's also one of the guys that put a noose on one of the fucking guys' beds. But this guy's just a flat out fucking racist. And,
yeah, sounds like a good dude.
Right. And so this dude turned around and fired him for being racist. He actually fired him for racial reasons.
Sure.
Because his outlook was, well, because this guy won't even do training in a mosque. What if a fucking actual call came in? Would he actually save a Muslim? Well, I don't think he would. You're supposed to be here to be a non-judgmental, non-this, non-that, non-partisan. You're supposed to just go in and just rescue a fucking human being.
Right.
I don't think I could trust him to do it, so I fired him.
Which is the best part of the movie Crash, the good Crash, not the shitty Crash.
Yeah.
when the racist cop has to go save the black girl at the end. And she's just freaking out. She's like, not you, anyone but you. Anyway, sorry. Such a good movie.
So now, when he fired this guy, initially, he actually had a lot of secret supporters because nobody could stand up and be like, hey, you're doing a good job. We appreciate you doing it. Because if you do it, then the other guys are going to backlash against you for being on this dude's side.
Exactly.
So what ended up happening was, so he fires this guy. What happened was the backlash that he got from the rest of the group, like from a lot of the guys, was they actually stood up and they basically did almost like a form of work protest to get the guy's job back.
Okay.
Which is pretty crazy. I mean, a guy gets fucking fired for openly being a fucking racist and everything else. To openly fucking support that, that's like you're making a pretty big, bold statement.
You are and you're not. You know, it's one of those things you stick together no matter what, right? Even if you hate the dude.
Yeah.
You got to be able to put each other's lives in each other's hands.
Yeah. And that's just it. So if you're one of the guys that runs into a mosque to save somebody, and while you're in there trying to save somebody, something happens to you, do you think the firemen's guys will be like, fuck you tried to help a fucking brownie? Forget it.
No, I don't think so.
He might have that fucking attitude. You don't know.
Right.
Because racist, you know, if as a racist, if one of your brothers goes and helps a race that you're supposed to be against, then you're seeing him as a traitor.
Are you though? Does it?
That's how it works.
I don't know any real racists, so I don't know how that operates.
Well, I came from a town full of fucking racists, and I can tell you from fucking heart, I know that's how the fucking mindset works.
Huh.
And these are some of the true hardcores, anyways. Like, I mean, the real hardcore guys are just like that. Like, you know, they can be best friends with one of their guys as part of the Brotherhood, and they find out one of the Brotherhood is going out and dealing with like a bunch of black guys, or he's friends with some black guys, or he helps a black guy, gets in trouble, and the Brotherhood turns their back on him.
Yeah, that's stupid to me. Like all your friends other than me could be Australian. I don't care. I still like that's not your problem. Well, it is your problem, but it's not like some. You know, it wouldn't bug me. I'd still hang out with you. I didn't know you had to. I didn't know you had to like disown people because you're a racist.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Apparently, yeah,
that's a big commitment.
That's just it, right? You know, like and that's why I also see it like. I mean, if I'm friends with a guy, I'm working with a guy, and even if I'm friends with the guy, you know, I find him, he's, aside from his racist views, I think he's a nice dude or whatever, and he gets fired for racism. I'm not standing up on a fucking line defending the guy saying, hey, he's a racist, he should get his job back. No. I'm not going to stand here beside the guy saying you should get your job back because you've openly done horrible racist fucking shit to people. You wear a Nazi fucking uniform, for Christ's sake. No, I'm not gonna defend you to get your fucking job back. You lost it because of a justifiable reason. Get the fuck out of here.
Do you think the reason you're not allowed to hang out with or help people of the other races is because then you might learn that there's nothing different about you guys, and then they lose all their power?
Well, that's just it. That's not how they see it, but that's the truth of it. Because as soon as a racist actually becomes friends with a person of someone they're supposed to be racist against, and they find out, wow, this guy's actually pretty cool. It turns out that they're not all bad. Wow, I've been an asshole because I can learn a lot from this guy. Shit.
That's exactly right. So kids, don't be racist or firemen.
Don't be racist or don't be a fireman. Yeah. So it was just amazingly interesting, and unfortunately, I ended up starting the podcast to find out exactly how the whole thing ended, so I haven't heard how it ended yet.
Well, I'll tell you right now, here's something. Here's a lesson for everybody. Absolutely do not be racist in any way, and fuck Swedish people.
I think you covered it.
See, that's a racist thing at the end there. That's why that's funny.
Yeah. I
Swedish people suck. I don't like their death metal. There's some crazy motherfuckers. Like they kill people on stage and stuff with their death metal. They mean it. They don't get it. They don't get.
Not only that, but their death metal, their Swedish death metal is so hardcore that they actually had that one guy who was a big leader of the death metal fucking community, and the guy went out and burned down churches and killed people.
Yeah. See,
they're fucking hardcore.
You're missing the point there. I think you guys have taken it way too far.
Yeah.
Don't hand the pyromaniac the Zippo. That's never going to go well. Did you hear about the lady who played Metallica and staved off a cougar attack?
I did. That's amazingly fucking funny.
That just made me think like what you're supposed to do with metal if you can use metal for good instead of being racist. And
did you hear that? Have you seen the clip?
I have, yeah.
Oh my God, the way she's talking to the cougar is so fucking funny.
Bad kitty.
Bad kitty. Like, stay there, kitty.
I'll fight you. Like, could you make Canadians look a little stupider? That thing went viral all around the world.
Oh, that was so Canadian. It's amazing. She puts on Metallica. She's like, I need the heaviest thing I could find, so I put on Metallica. And the cat ran away. So and the best thing is, she has this interaction, and then she continues her walk.
Oh, yeah. This is her walk.
Blasting Metallica the whole way.
I like and Seth Meyers. I saw it. Seth Meyers talking about it.
Oh.
And he was saying how like he like in the amount of time she talked to that cougar, he would have had enough time to shit his pants, change his pants, and shit them again.
So true. I fucking died laughing when I heard about that thing too. I fucking thought that was too funny.
But that's Swedish people. You could learn from us in that respect. Don't use your metal for evil racist shit. Use it to fight cougars.
There you go.
Simple. Although we're on a very lesser scale. We're getting a whole bunch of racist and homophobes and stuff kicked out of our politics every day too. So we can't really say we're that much better than anybody else.
Well, I mean, we can, but
we can, but it's not true. We can say whatever we want, but that doesn't make it true.
By the way, I was able to use, for those that don't know, which is all of you because nobody knows this, I went to a family reunion earlier tonight. I haven't been to a full-on family reunion in a very long time. It's been years since I've been part of one. Mind you, living in BC made it difficult for me for 5 years to.
I've never. My family's never done that. I went to my ex-wife had one, and it was quite interesting, but we couldn't ever do that.
No, it just doesn't work.
No, there's only like 4 of us left anyway. It wouldn't be that cool.
Oh, fuck. No, this is a fairly large family, and the whole family pretty much fucking showed up. And we had, while we were there...
Private jets?
No. It's not that bad. What was funny, though, was right at the end of the night, we were talking, and we were basically everybody's just sort of shooting shit about whatever, and... my one aunt had said, hey, about coming over for dinner. I'm like, I'd love to. I said, it's really difficult to get the time because my job, I'm works out to the equivalent of 14, 15 hours a fucking day. I said, then after I get home, after doing working all day for 11 hours to 3 hours drive there and back, I said, then I get home, I do a podcast at night. And I just happened to mention the word podcast, and my uncle, Alex, hey, Alex, if you're listening, because apparently he listens to the podcast once in a while.
Oh, fantastic. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Alex. He made a comment about, you know about your podcast? I'm like, yeah. He says, yeah, listen to that with warning. It makes fucking sense. You're talking about me here. So we had a bit of a laugh about the whole thing. And she's like, a couple of my younger cousins were asking me, it's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I talk about fucking everything. And my aunt was like, so are you like a straight up right wing? I started laughing, like, no. No, we don't have any direct political affiliation in that sense. I said, to be completely honest, just so you know, I said, when it comes to me going to the ballot box, I'm actually writing down, I'm voting for Eric and Gord. And she's like, you're not. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm writing down Eric and Gord on my ballot box. That's exactly who I'm voting for. I am voting for myself. Fuck it, I don't care.
And the reaction to this was not good, I take it.
Actually, it was a mix of some as a form of horror, and others was just sort of funny, thinking, "Oh, Gord's just talking shit again." Yeah, no, not really.
No,
I'm serious.
It's definitely I think the best form of protest we can use right now.
Absolutely.
And, if enough people would do it, it would actually mean something. That's the problem with these people who say, "Oh, if you don't vote, you're just wasting it. You're not sending a message." Yeah, you would send a message if enough of us did it. But they convince you not to do it so that it doesn't work in our favor.
That's right.
It's not that fucking difficult. You don't necessarily have to vote Eric and Gordon. Vote Rhino Party. Vote whatever. Just don't vote for the lesser of two evils.
For the record, you don't have to vote Eric and Gord, but you can also vote Gord and Eric.
Yeah, that works just as well. Yeah, and then if you would like to see some real change and not see these same yahoos just doing the same goddamn crap, and now it's in the worst possible stages where they're digging up crap from years ago, and he did this and he said that, and this guy's racist and that girl's racist, and yeah, we're all fucking racist. Get over it.
Just move the fuck on.
The only one who's doing a good job of it, I really think, Jagmeet.
Oh my God, he is doing so well.
With the water for the First Nations, he just that was
So
beautiful.
good. So good.
Are
It
you
was the
saying
perfect answer.
you're saying you're just gonna cut a check for every First Nation in the country? What would you ask me that if it were Toronto?
Yeah.
I love that.
Where are you going to come up with the money? Would you ask me that question if this happened in Vancouver?
Right?
How about Toronto? How about Central Edmonton? Would you be asking me the same question? So why are you asking me the question now?
That's he nailed it out of the park with that one. I was really impressed. And the other two meatheads are it's just gotten downright comical now. Because they both have two planes, so that was a stupid thing.
Yeah.
To bring Justin Trudeau has two jets flying around. Well, they both do. And then they to bring out that Andrew Scheer's got dual citizenship.
Now, there is a slightly justifiable reason to bringing up his dual citizenship. I don't know if you know this, but Andrew Scheer was very much outspoken about two French politicians.
Yeah.
Because they have dual citizenship between Canada and France.
Okay, now Michaëlle Jean does not. She swore she swore allegiance to Canada. She whatever you do to it, she abdicated her French citizenship when she became the Governor General. She didn't think it was right to be a dual citizen and Governor General. So she did that. But you got to keep in mind too. You could bring up that he said it to her. Blah 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 blah. He was essentially born there. He was there for 5 seconds. The only reason he has citizenship is because his father does. He's in no way an American.
No, not at all. But the fact that, again, if you're going to be outspoken about somebody else having dual citizenship, and then you start running for a major political fucking party, you got to come clean on that shit because you just called somebody else out for doing the same thing.
Exactly, and that's what they all do.
Yes.
And it goes this way, and it's just a stupid playground bullshit.
Yep.
I'm rubber, you're glue. I know you are, but what am I? Fuck off. Run the country. Quit with this. I don't give a shit that someone made some racist joke 25 years ago. Frankly, if you're the kind of person who hasn't made a bad joke in your life, I don't want you picking my leader anyway.
Yeah.
If you're that person, don't tell me what to do because I don't like you. So I'm trying to gather my thoughts here on this a little bit better, and I'm stumbling a bit. I'm sorry. It's been a while since we've done this. I'm rusty. But
like the rusty trombone you had the other night.
And Adrian just stole the show from us the last episode, so I feel like I can't do it without him anymore. Love that.
Oh, he will appreciate hearing.
This stuff has to get. I don't want the election decided on racist jokes from 25 years ago, or whether or not Andrew Scheer's dad was American. I don't give a shit. There are huge issues facing the country right now, and that's what we really have to start deciding on. And it's today is the 6th, so we're looking at 22 days until we're stuck with this person. 22 days until we're stuck with this person forever. By the way, we're doing a live podcast. We'll be on the air for all the wild election coverage fun. Join us on Facebook Live for that on the 21st. But we need to start focusing on things that actually fucking matter. Because it's frankly the next 4 years are abysmal no matter who wins. But it's time for us to start mitigating our losses now, and start focusing on who is going to do the best to make us not just fucking be all Chinese in 4 years. And frankly, I don't see it coming from any of them right now. It's going to be such a clusterfuck in Ottawa on the day after the election. We're going to end up with just 3 parties sitting there not knowing how to deal with each other and what to do.
Yeah.
And
by the way, it's 14 days, 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 25 seconds until the election.
What did I say? 20 days? I can't.
You said 20.
Math.
It's 14 days. It's 2 weeks.
Of course, no, this is my math. 21 minus 6 is 20. That in my head, that makes sense. That's why I have so much money. That made
so
perfect
sense.
Oh, it's on the 21st. That's 3 weeks away. Yeah, that's 20 days. That's brilliant. So certainly don't. You can vote for me, but just don't ask me to balance the budget.
And at least you'll be honest about it, though.
Oh, yeah, I'll absolutely be honest about it. I can't. Don't hire me in anything that has to do with math, and we're fine.
For the record, by the way, I already know who will hire for that.
Oh,
To hire the financial thing. Yep, I already have that person lined up.
please fill me in. I'm curious.
Okay, he doesn't know this, so Rich, if you're listening, we're gonna get my buddy Rich.
You're gonna get a guy.
Yeah.
Why
You
would
get that right?
Why would you not get a guy named Rich to be the finance minister? That's amazing.
The reason is because Rich is the cheapest son of a bitch you're ever gonna meet.
Perfect.
He's the guy that we years ago we went and rented a limo. We were gonna go to the strip club and we rented a limousine, and Rich brought in one extra guy to save each person $3.
Well done.
And that other
Rich.
guy had to sit in the front seat with the driver because there's no room in the back.
Oh, that's not fair.
That's the guy you want to be balancing your fucking books, because
That really
if
is.
there's a penny to be found, that motherfucker will find it.
Well, Rich, you're absolutely hired. And the only other appointee we can really make ahead of time is obviously Adrian, our Minister of Knives. Will be the first government that has a Minister of Knives. He's just going to deal with the knives. That's going to be his thing.
That is perfect. I'm all for that.
Minister of Knives. I like that. That just sounds awesome.
The funny thing is it's actually the sad thing is it's actually something we need
Yeah.
because they don't know what the fuck they're doing in this country with it. So
And that's the thing. It goes right down to that level. They don't know what they're doing with anything. We've had our fun. We've all had laughs. It's time to quit now. It was neat to hire the pretty guy, but this is what happens. This is why you don't marry them. This is why you don't hire them. This is why
you fuck them and you walk away from.
Yes, you don't take pretty dudes seriously. And now
Because you know
it's
what
coming
happens
up.
when you hire a pretty dude? You don't fuck them; they fuck you later, and that's not good.
And now questions are coming out. He's dodging all questions about his previous employment at the Point Grey Academy there. Yeah, private school where the. Oh my God. I have a friend who's very Trudeau-like. He's a big man whore. He's a lot of fun, but you don't marry that guy and you don't put him in charge of your country. This guy was so phenomenal. He actually had a Facebook page devoted to him. It was women hating him. There was an entire Facebook, like a group. It was all just women who hated this guy. And I don't want to call him out on the air, but he's my hero.
That's amazing.
Yeah, now it's time to get to work and pick somebody. And it's not any of these boneheads. I don't know how I feel about voting NDP, but he's better than the other two at the moment, so that he's got my support for now. Elizabeth May has just turned into, I don't know what she's doing. I think she's just like, it's her last year, so she's going to go out looking like an idiot. I don't know what her plan is.
It seems to be the way she wants to do it, though.
By
the way, I've shared your reasons for voting, your one main reason for voting for Jagmeet.
Yeah.
With a few people, and I've actually got people on board with this.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh my God, I never thought about that."
Right?
Yes, we need to make that happen. I'm like, that Jagmeet team needs to have this as his political running. Don't worry about what you do to the country. Think about this, folks. I get to be the one meeting Donald Trump all the time.
Yeah. And Trump won't have a clue how to deal with him, especially because the way he speaks is going to throw him off. Because he's so articulate, and like if you were to talk to him on the phone, you wouldn't expect him to look like he does, right?
Exactly.
You expect more of a Russell Peters looking guy, and it's not necessarily so true. He's just gonna have Trump tripping up all the time. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be hilarious for 4 years.
I just can't stop fucking laughing when you first said that. I'm like, oh my God, that is so fucking genius.
If we can't like run the country properly, then fine. Let's just make it so it's at least entertaining. I don't want,
at the very least.
I don't want 4 boring years.
No, if we could at least have that, that is perfection.
Oh, this would be great. What? I can't say that. What can I say? God damn it! I don't like this guy. he's blowing up. The one reason I miss my phone is I miss my Twitter feed right now because Trump has just been blowing up Twitter for the last 3 days. Like he's just every post. It's just him.
And he keeps openly admitting exactly what it is that they're impeaching him for. And it's genius to a fact, because I was listening to a thing this morning on my way into work, and they were talking about like the comparison between like what happened to Nixon when he covered up the Watergate, and what actually got him impeached. What ended up doing it were two things. Number one, tapes were released of him contacting the CIA, telling the CIA to stop the FBI from investigating him. Right.
Which is what Trudeau did. Just saying. Anyway.
Which is exactly what Trudeau did. Exactly. But the other thing was that what he didn't know, what Nixon didn't know at the time, was that he didn't know that all these phone calls were being recorded.
No, he didn't.
So as soon as those phone, they said we have a tape recording. He's like, "What do you mean you have a tape recording?" yeah, we actually have you on tape. We have that conversation on tape.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh," and then he's just like, "Yeah, I'm going to resign as president starting tomorrow."
Exactly.
So this is the one thing. That's one of the things that got him caught, was the fact that he vehemently denied the entire time that this conversation ever happened until he got caught literally red-handed with the conversation happening.
Right.
Where Trump, on the other hand, is openly saying, "Yeah, no, I had the conversation." What's your point?
Right, but therein is the point. You're not allowed to use, while you're in office, you're not allowed to have that conversation.
Yeah.
He seems to not notice that. He also isn't realizing that by pushing this First Amendment freedom on everyone, that I'm allowed to say no, you're not. You can't do that as president. If you misuse the First Amendment, you swore an oath to the Constitution. And anything you do that violate that oath is considered a violation of your office. So you have to be very, very careful in the manner in which if you misuse your freedom of speech that you all hide behind, just in misusing it, you can be impeached for that. You have to tread very lightly around that sacred text. It's like your Bible.
Yeah, at least it should be.
And I think, she could have a case against him. I like what Pelosi did when, the Republicans said, we're not going to support this impeachment hearing. And she went, fine. And she just did it without them.
Yeah.
She may not get the majority of, she needs a 2/3 vote. It's not a 50+1 vote. It's 2/3 of the government have to vote against them, but you never know. They're so fickle right now that they could just go. If she's a good cheerleader for this, she could win. She could win them over.
Yeah, it's true. She could. You just don't know.
I haven't heard who would run in his place. Would it be?
It'd probably be fucking Biden.
It would be Pence, right? Mike Pence is vice president.
Pence. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be Pence versus Biden. That would be a horrifically boring election.
Oh. It would actually be very humorous because Pence is, well, he's an idiot.
He really is.
He's really dumb. So it'd be very humorous to hear him try to talk and be smart, and it's not going to work for him at all.
No. Mike Pence, Justin Trudeau for 4 years would be ideal. Just
the bad so conversations. It'd just be nothing but for 3 hours straight.
It would just finally put network news out of business.
It's fucking funny.
What? Anyways, stay tuned. 14 days, is it? Don't listen to me.
14 days.
Mark your own damn calendars. I have no idea when this thing's happening, apparently. 21 minus 6 is 20. Fucking Jesus Christ. This is the education system that our government put together. This is why I am where I am in life.
Don't blame me. Blame the system.
It is something about the system that I want to talk to before we're done, because I've been dying to bring this up to you. The big asteroid that's coming, your asteroid.
Yes.
NASA has announced their joint plan with the European Space Union to not explode the asteroid, but to bump it and change its trajectory.
Yes.
So what they're going to do is they're sending up their rocket next year in 2021. They're going to send it up. It's going to go up and it's going to bump it. And then in 2026, the European Space Agency's rocket will be ready to go up, and it's going to go up and see how that did.
Yep.
Now that is the stuff that movies are made of. That is exciting shit.
I mean, honestly, it actually is pretty much the best possible solution they could have, because if they blow the fucking thing up, now you've got, instead of one giant rock, now you've got 1,000 chunks of rock that are going to wipe out the planet anyways.
I saw Army of Darkness. I know how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When the mirror breaks and then all the little ashes come out.
Yeah. You've seen it, you know.
But can we make it a little more? Oh, over the next 6 years, we're gonna see if it worked, and if it doesn't, then what do? You've just wasted fucking 10 years trying to figure it out.
Well, then they'll just send up a rocket and blow it all up, and then wait for the small pieces to hit.
I don't want to see the movie that they make of this, where it's Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck sitting there for 10 years. You think it moved? I don't know. Probably not.
Oh.
Stay away from my daughter.
Because that's important.
That's a terrible idea for a movie, and it wouldn't even have those two would be too old now. It'd be like fucking, I don't know, Justin Bieber and some younger, not Bieberish type person.
I don't know who that is.
It's going to be a terrible movie, though. Can we just lie to us, NASA? Or, come on, make it sound moderately cool.
No,
Just,
they can't do that. They can't make up that type of a lie, Eric. They have too much focus on the fake moon landing, because that's more important.
oh yeah, I'm sure they're all hiding in their basement suites, making up moon landings right now. When do they have time for that? It takes them 150 years to get anything fucking done.
Which is why this is a great plan for them, because it's the 20-year plan, you know.
Yeah, but Elon Musk is going to have space tourists up 19 years before they accomplish this thing.
Yeah.
He's ready to get tourists up there next year. It's going to be like $5 million still or something. So you and I don't get to go, unless he starts answering my phone calls, which doesn't seem very likely. But yeah, he's planning for next year, like 2021. If you can afford it, you can go to space. So maybe we should just start getting him involved and make this shit sound exciting, because his shit's always exciting. It doesn't work most of the time.
Eric, I have to read you something. You are going to love this. I am on space.com because I just typed in NASA's plan to stop the asteroid. First paragraph. NASA has updated its plans to deflect potentially hazardous Earth-bound asteroids, and none of them involve Bruce Willis. It actually says that.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Did we actually think they would involve? He's an actor, of course not.
Oh, it's just so funny.
But there's got to be someone at NASA that's like Bruce Willis. They can't all be Chris Hadfield. There's got to be someone exciting there.
Hang on. I have to read this. The White House Office of Science and Technology Policy released a new report today on June 20th, titled the National Near-Earth Object Preparedness Strategy and Action Plan.
Oh, wow. That sounds exciting.
Doesn't it, though? The 18-page document outlines the steps that NASA and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, will take over the next 10 years to both prevent dangerous asteroids from striking Earth and to prepare the country for the potential consequences of such an event. So
Okay.
They're literally doing a dual thing. Here's what we're going to do to stop it, but this is what we're going to put in place when we fuck it up.
This is what we're going to do when it doesn't work. That doesn't instill a lot of confidence in people when you're like, all right, this is our plan, but this is what we want you to do. Because there's no way in hell this is working. We're going to set a rocket up there, and we're going to bump it. We're just going to give it a little love tap. And then over the next 5 years, it's going to slowly, that love tap's going to turn into it's going to spin right off its course.
Leviticus Lewis, chief of FEMA's National Response Coordination Branch.
He made up that name the day he got
That is
hired.
amazing. Oh, that is amazing. He told reporters during the teleconference, adding that a catastrophic asteroid strike is, quote, a low probability but high consequence event for which some degree of preparedness is necessary.
It's probably not going to happen, but if it does, we're all fucked. So let's be prepared.
Amazing.
Leviticus. No one names their kid Leviticus. He made that up.
I had to have.
Although I never realized that's probably the long form of Levi. That just hit me now. If you got a friend named Levi, I've got a couple of them.
It's probably Leviticus.
Should be short for Leviticus. Wow. Sorry, Levi. Yeah, I got so many other reasons to make fun of you. That's not even one of them.
You know what I understand? You know what I think would be a relatively easier thing to do? Call me crazy, but if you can send out an asteroid, send out a spaceship or something to be able to catch one of these things, can they not just say, make a giant net, wrap the net around this thing with some rocket boosters, and then just have the rocket boosters just fire up and just, well, there's your trajectory move.
Now, as far as I'm aware, the Canada arm is still up there. Our contribution to space science was the giant
Put a
arm.
baseball bat in the hand.
I was thinking tennis racket, but sure.
Tennis racket. That works.
Put a big tennis racket in the hand of the Canada arm. Get Serena Williams on board. Teach that thing how to swing like a motherfucker. And just knock it right into the sun. Or some other thing. Knock it into a fucking flat earther's house. That would be amazing. Yeah. The Canada arm with a giant tennis racket. And
so they have 5 major objectives detailed in the new plan to prepare for the asteroids. They have 5. They have 5 of them. Where the fuck are the 5?
That's it. Oh. That's the 5.
We have 5. That's all we're telling you. So the first one is to detect. They have several ground-based observatories that scan the skies for asteroids, so they're going to set up more of those so that they can detect them.
That's a good thing. Make sure it's coming before you set up the rocket.
Right? I mean, that's not exactly a plan to fix anything, you fucking idiots.
Well, first thing we're going to do is make sure they're there. Yeah, that's good. That's good thinking.
Okay, there you go. So the first one. The second goal listed in the document discusses the improvement of modeling, prediction, and information integration across U.S. agencies to help predict the possibility of the asteroid to hit.
Because that guy literally was off by 18 times the last time we had this conversation. You know, it was going to be one thing, and then it was going to be 18 times more than that. No, that's bad math. You need to work on that before you make your next announcement. So it's good that they're.
Don't forget to carry the 1. Come on, guys.
They're going to streamline that.
The third objective, NASA is asked to come up with new ways to deflect an asteroid heading toward Earth. This involves developing new techniques for rapid response NEO, near Earth object, reconnaissance missions, in which a spacecraft could launch towards an Earthbound asteroid and somehow change the space rock's course so that it no longer posed a threat.
Well, can't you just spin around it fast enough that it starts spinning the opposite directions? Superman can do that.
Yeah, the fuck, amateurs. NASA plans to attempt this with the Asteroid Redirect Mission, ARM, in 2021, but the Trump administration scrapped that mission in 2017.
Of course they did. And it took them since 2010 to come up with that name for it. Exactly. That was 30% of the budget was spent just on the hours they spent coming up with ARM.
Well, the good news is ARM was not the only one asteroid defense mission that NASA had up its sleeve. They also have DART.
The ARM wasn't the only thing up their sleeve?
I'm reading this right off of this, dude. I'm not making this up. This is what I'm reading off of this thing. This is amazing.
This shit? Their ARM wasn't the only thing up their sleeve.
ARM was not the only asteroid deflecting mission NASA had up its sleeve. The agency Double Asteroid Redirection Test, DART, expected to launch in 2021, will be our first technology demonstration of the kinetic impact technique to deflect an asteroid. It will encounter the asteroid system Didymos in 2022.
Wow. Yeah. That's and then shortly after that, the European Space Agency will have their turn to go see if it worked. That's what they're going to be doing. They got another catchy name for their thing too.
It's called what? Badge?
Yeah, something like that.
The focus of the fourth goal outlined in the document is to increase international cooperation to better prepare the rest of the world for the possibility of an asteroid strike under the leadership of the United States.
We have to prepare you for the fact that our first three points in this suck. We're just preparing you for that.
Just letting you know.
ARM was terrible. It was a horrible idea, and we wasted too much time on that name. So you're all going to die now, and you should be prepared.
It took us 8 years to come up with ARM and DART.
Fuck. My God. When really all they have to do, they could a really simple thing. If they got to kind of come up with alternative ways, is you strap Nicki Minaj to a rocket, you shoot it up there, it'll scare the fucking thing out of here.
See, that's a great idea. That's pretty much perfection. In the fifth and last objective in the document, the U.S. government is asked to come up with a plan that would go into effect if a large asteroid were found to be hurtling towards Earth, or if one were to crash into our planet with little to no warning.
Well, what happened to point number 1, guys?
Well, that's just it, right? I mean, like, that just makes point number 1 seem really mute all of a sudden.
You're already failing on the first one by the time you get to the fifth one. That's not good. Your warning system should be better planned, I think.
It's just so dumb.
Have we really cut the funding to NASA that far back that they're just like, yeah, we're going to make a bunch of plans that aren't going to work?
Each one counteracts the last. FEMA's role during an asteroid emergency would involve notifying everyone who might be affected, ideally before the impact occurs.
Ideally, yeah.
Hey, an asteroid's coming.
Jesus fucking Christ. No, they're going to spend 5 years after it comes to drive around and warn everybody.
Oh, well, by the way, guess how they're warning you, by the way?
I'm going to imagine with the fucking cans on shoestrings.
No, they're going to use the Amber Alert. Same basic idea as an Amber Alert.
So we're going to have a bunch of pricks calling 911 before they get hit.
Yeah.
That guy got charged, eh? The guy,
did he?
Yeah. Guy in
Good.
Scotia called 11 times about the Amber Alert. He has been charged with like a sort of an obstruction of it's not obstruction of justice, obviously, but it's similar to that. He got charged with, and he got a big fat fine out of it. So there's the precedent-setting fine for the guys calling 911. Now, if it's an asteroid hitting the Earth and you get your Amber Alert, you can call 911. That's cool.
Yeah, that'd be fine because nothing else matters after that point, anyways.
The one missing kid on that day is just gonna be so pissed.
Oh,
no one's paying attention to that Amber Alert.
No. Little Timmy's gone. Fuck it, we got a rock coming towards us.
Now, the Amber Alert is a phenomenal system. It was a brilliant idea, and it's done wonders. 5 kids were just discovered this weekend they were missing because of the Amber Alert system. It's a great, great thing, but can't we just come up with a different one for the giant fucking asteroid? Do we need, like...
Well, they will, but they'll probably call it the...
Big Black Alert?
Yeah, the Rock Alert.
Oh, don't do that, because then he'll want his name all over everything, and we'll have to pay him $50.
It'll be the Rock copyright.
Don't do that. But come up with, like, I don't even know what an asteroid is. Shiny? Come up with a shiny alert. Why does it have to be Amber Alert? Like, can't we come up with something different just for...
Shooting Star Alert.
The Dog Dick Red Alert. I don't care. Anything.
There you go. How about with Dick Alert?
The with Dick Alert. I love
Or
it.
how about it'd be a great one. The Diabetes Alert.
Diabetes Alert. Fucking get KFC in on this. They'll throw 2 pieces of chicken around that thing and it'll slow down on its own.
So just so you know, asteroid hunting astronomers have already found more than 8,000 near-Earth objects measuring at least 460 feet across, large enough to wipe out an entire state if one were to hit the U.S., but astronauts that size make up to only 1/3 of the estimated population of near-Earth asteroids. Smaller asteroid impacts may be less catastrophic, but they can cause significant damage. The space rock that exploded over Russia in 2013 was only 62 feet wide. It injured more than 1,200 people, damaging thousands of buildings as far as 58 miles away from the site of impact.
Exactly. So these things are gonna fuck your shit up.
Yeah, that's right.
Over 8,000. Now, what do they consider near Earth objects, though? Because I would imagine like their idea of near and ours is quite astronomically different.
Yeah, well, now that doesn't clarify that, but my assumption on that would be is anything that is between us and probably half the distance past the moon. That's my guess.
Half the distance past the moon.
So the distance plus the distance from Earth to the moon plus half that more distance.
And how far? I don't even know how far the moon is. I'm terrible at this stuff. You know this shit.
I kind of do. I want to get the exact number.
I know takes less time than it does to drive from here to Ontario.
So the distance from Earth to the moon is 384,400 kilometers.
384,400 kilometers.
So yeah, so you're looking at somewhere around 500,000 kilometers from Earth.
So that's you're saying so and you think twice that distance is considered near Earth. That's or did you say half the distance?
I say that
you said twice, right? You said twice that distance.
Yeah. Well, I said 1.5. So the distance to the moon plus half that other distance.
Oh, so that's where you get your 500,000 from.
Yeah.
All right, so 500,000 kilometers, which that's actually a little closer than I like to than I'd like it to be. I know when you're driving from here to your house, that's what it feels like. That's a little. So there's 8,000. I want to know what they consider near, because that's what matters, right? Because if they're spending all their time going up and bumping this one, that's 7,999. They're not bumping.
Oh, actually, I have the number. It is actually one lunar distance between us and the moon. 834,410 kilometers.
You said 384 the first time.
Well, I'm telling you what I'm reading. So I guess it depends on what the rotational value of the moon is at its given orbit. So at its farthest orbit, at 834,410 kilometers.
That's considered near.
That's considered a near-Earth asteroid.
83410.
38410.
Okay, so see,
384,000. Sorry.
You just
I'm
said
dyslexic. I'm dyslexic.
That's not the point. You just destroyed Earth.
Yes, I did. I'm fine with that.
You're just as bad as these guys. This is why you don't work for NASA. So 300.
This is why I don't. Yeah, so 300, so 400,000.
384,10.
384,10. 384,410.
410. 384,410. All right, that's the magic number.
It is.
I'm going to be watching
anything under that distance.
Do they have some sort of? I wonder if they like. I used to have SETI on my computer and I got rid of it because it just eats up your energy like crazy. Which is the search for extraterrestrial life, and you can have it on your computer and it tracks extraterrestrials, and if you find one, your computer will let you know.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI. It's a big international organization, and they take I don't know how they do it, but they take the signal from your computer to make their signal stronger so they can search farther, kind of thing. So the more computers that sign up for this thing, the further they can look for aliens, whatever. My point, do they have something like this where we can track these asteroids? And
no.
We can.
Well, you get live updates from updates from NASA whenever they do discover one. Once it's
trust NASA.
It's all you have. They're the ones in charge of this.
Well, see, that's the problem.
Yes.
We need to put some money back into our space programs. It made sense at the time to cut them. I get it. But I think in light of this stuff, we should probably maybe give them back some money. We in Canada. They never got any money anyway. They had to build their own shit out of like leftover sets from the Red Green show.
Did you know that in May of 2019, a binary system asteroid, which means one main asteroid and then a smaller one rotating around it, came
Yes.
within 15 lunar distance of Earth?
And that was their original plan, is to bump the little one and make the little one fuck up the bigger one. That was their plan. That's what they're basing this on. Yeah, that's what it was. They're gonna bump the little one because it orbits around the big fat one. And this is basically just a giant curling game. So they got to get the Canadians involved in it.
You have to
bump the one rock into the other rock, and it's going to spin that rock off its course over a period of like 5 years. Because the way the little one spins, it's actually kind of what I just said, the Superman effect. We're actually trying that.
I want to see. Hang on, I have a list.
I did read about that though. That in May, that was it was a binary system. You see that was a binary system. It just admits that it's a binary system. We don't have to like come up with some other fucking thing to call it.
There was one in January. January 8th was the date of its closest approach. January of this year, January 2019. It was within 15,100 kilometers.
Yeah. And what was the size of that one? Do they know? Enough to fuck up a state.
It passed within 0.04 lunar distance or 15,000 kilometers. Estimated about 1 to 2 meters in diameter.
1 to 2 meters. So that's not going to fuck up your state. That'll ruin your car though. Probably take out like a Walmart.
It would fuck if it landed on ground. That would create a probably fairly significant crater. Shockwave would blast for probably a good couple 100 miles.
Right.
It'd probably do some damage.
That'd be so great if it just knocks down Trump's wall. That's all it does. He finally finishes that fucking thing and it just knocks it down. And that's it. Everyone's fine. Just the wall's gone. Like, God damn it.
Are you kidding me? I just put the fucking thing up.
It's just like putting his initials at the bottom of it in the wet cement. Trump was here. Boom. That's it. That's the end of it. Now I'm kind of rooting for the asteroid again. You know it's gonna hit somewhere. It's gonna hit right in the middle of Tornado Alley or something stupid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just fucking take out New Orleans again or something. It's never, these things never hit somewhere where we need them to. Like if it could just knock Saudi Arabia off the map and then we're just done with that situation. Oh, they don't exist anymore. Cool. It never goes that way. It always hits somewhere bad. Like how come bad places, this horrible, terrible shit happens to Japan. Japan's never done anything bad to anyone ever. In the history of Japan, they just fuck themselves up constantly, and then they get the worst tsunami that's ever happened in the world. Oh, why can't that thing hit Korea? Like, how did that skip Korea? And now you know what Korea's doing? They're shooting nuclear missiles at fucking Japan for the fun of it.
Yeah, for games, shits and giggles.
Like the poor bastards. How come these bad, horrible, like the Philippines? There's never been a bad Filipino person in the universe. They don't exist, and yet their country gets fucked up year after year by earthquakes and terrible tsunamis. How come these things don't hit bad people ever?
Well, I mean, one hit Russia. They're not the nicest.
Yeah, way out in the middle of Siberia, though.
Oh, yeah, I know. You know something I don't get? I'm looking at this. They have a listing here of all these ones that came close, and it says the size of approximate size. The sheer gap between the sizes, like here's one asteroid. It was between 8 and 25 meters.
Now, see, that bugs me when they say things like that. It's between 8 and 25. So it's either between one size or 3 times that fucking same size.
But yet they can say, oh, here's one that's between 1 and 3.
No, you now I think you're just making up numbers, NASA.
Yeah, or between 9 and 30.
Yeah, see, again, that's more than 3 times.
How about this? Between 14 and 44.
That's like Asian women when you're trying to guess their age.
It just doesn't make sense.
They're using the same 14 and 40. That's what I used to try to guess Russian women, or not Russian women. Oh, well, them too as well. But no, come on. between 8 and 24, you can do better than that. You have to. Between 14 and 40, come on. You expect me to believe in like antimatter and shit? You got to get your math straight. Because even my daughter could do better than between 14 and 40. Get a fucking telescope that works and look at this shit.
So I'm looking at, I actually have the updated list.
That's
right
the other
from-
thing, by the way, about the binary thing. They don't actually know because they can't see it. They just, the thing comes in and out of light every 12 hours, so they assume there's something circling it.
Yeah.
That's,
Lunar
I don't trust these guys. Maybe it flickers. How do you not know? Maybe it just flickers. Did anyone suggest that?
No, I don't think so.
I think there's a second asteroid circling around this one because every 12 hours it flickers. Maybe its light's burning out. Fucking could be anything, you guys.
Figure it out.
You can't figure out if it's 8 meters wide or 24 fucking meters wide. Imagine if we did anything else like that. When we were giving people estimates. How much is this going to cost? No, it could be $8. Could be 30. What?
Not quite sure which.
When will you be there? Well, maybe tomorrow, maybe December. What? I'd like to make a reservation. I'll be there tomorrow or in the next 6 months.
Just hold me a table. The hell?
Just hold that table till spring, just in case. No, NASA, this is why you don't get more money until you get your math better.
So there's one coming to us on October 8th.
That's 2 days from now.
That's 2 days from now, and one on October 9th. They are both within 1.4 lunar distance away.
Or
so that's the exact distance that I said that it would be, between 1.5 distance away.
they're
So
either
just
one.
outside of the moon rotation.
How are they so sure about this, though? They can't figure out that it might be that size, but they know it's
Well,
that distance?
I can tell you the size of both because I have that here. The size of both, that's the second from the top and the bottom one. The one coming on the 8th is between 7.3 meters and 16 meters. So I'm assuming that I'm wondering if this is because they're a regular shape, that maybe it's like 7 meters across and 16 meters long, maybe.
Maybe. But it's definitely coming on the 8th. We got that one right.
Well, it's coming on the 8th. And then the other one's coming on the 9th. It is between 16 and 36 meters.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And the best thing is I can tell you the exact time, the exact minute.
Yeah, of course, because
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
We can predict the exact minute, but we don't know the size. Like, come on.
7:09 in the morning for the 8th and 14:28 in the afternoon for the 9th.
7:09 and 14. I am writing this shit down.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold them to that because they can get that. They can get 7:09 and what was 14?
14:28.
7:09 on the 8th.
Now, hang on. Just to know, there is a variance. The 7:09, give or take 9 minutes.
Years.
No, give or take 9 minutes.
7:09 on the 8th. This is October 8th. This is 2 days from now.
That's right.
7:09, give or take, plus or 9 minutes.
Plus or minus 9 minutes. So between 7 and 7:8 and 7:18
Right. And then on the October the 9th,
is 14:28, give or take 1 minute.
14:28, give or take 1 minute, which is 2:28. If you people don't know, that's 2:28 in the afternoon.
Yep.
Give or take 1 minute, which I don't buy. I don't think that they can be off by 20 meters, but not 15 seconds. I don't get that. I don't think that's correct.
We can't tell you the size.
Okay, well, that is something I'm going to be watching for both of those, by the way. And if they're not like right within those parameters, then NASA prediction people, you're getting it just like Weatherman from me. And I'm not letting up on this. Like we could die a horrible, horrible death or not. Even worse, the world could get fucked up and we all live. That's going to be the worst part. And you're going to have a bunch of whiners. Times New Orleans by everything in the world. Mike Holmes can't fix all that shit on his own. we got to get our math better, and we got to be accurate about this. And I'm watching you guys like a hawk, and I'm calling Serena Williams while I'm at it. We're gonna go shopping for one big ass tennis racket.
The funny is the tennis racket makes a lot of sense. I mean, like
It does, right?
I can understand that. That just makes sense.
Because it'll also it'll stretch a bit. There's a little give to it. If you put a big bat up there, what happens if the bat breaks? Then you've got a second asteroid flying at us. You don't want that. I've seen that happen where the bat breaks and it hits the catcher in the head and shit. We can't risk that. Tennis racket's the way to go.
So just so you know, 52.9% of all the asteroids discovered
Are a completely different size.
that are discovered to be considered a near impact thing, 52.9% of them were discovered after their closest approach.
Oh, that's lovely. So after the point of
so I can give you these stats.
after the point of no return, half. That's more than
After it's
half.
already
folks.
gone past us. After it's already zinged past us. Hey, that almost hit us.
Hey, we can predict where that went 15 minutes ago. That's not a prediction. That's just recalling events. That's not that's not helpful after
You're
the
just
fact.
telling a story. That's all you're doing.
I can tell you when it went. You tell us when it's coming? No, but I can tell you when it went by. What? That doesn't help. Get out.
That's so amazing.
You go get a different job. Go work at fucking.
So this is okay. So here, so just so you know, that's 52.9%. So that's 9. They've 9. Just in 2019, they discovered 9 after it had already gone past us.
Well, yeah, because there's really either they discover it after or during.
No, I have. Trust me, I have all these numbers here.
We'll know that
Within
one.
24 hours before. So literally no time to prepare or to do anything about. 6 of them, which is 35.3% of them all.
Yeah, that's their answer. Their answer is, well, if it happens, you'll know. Don't
You'll
worry.
know.
You'll feel it.
You'll know after.
This is what killed the
find out what
dinosaurs.
we did.
People. We're not fucking around here. Yeah, no, you are, you idiots. Jesus Christ.
Up to 7 days before, 1 at 5.9% of the amount of them found. So, 1 asteroid was discovered within a week. 1 asteroid was discovered after a week before, and 0 asteroids have been discovered 1 year before.
I think that they're just making all of this shit up. I think they just send a different guy out there to see if he can make the rest of them laugh during the press conference. It's like those, you know, that TV show with the 4 dudes? They gotta try to make each other. They can't laugh.
Yeah,
I think
it's just pretty much that. There are a bunch of scientists guys laughing their bags off in the
they're
back.
trying. Watch. Like, don't do it, Jerry. No, I'm gonna totally just make up some numbers. You're gonna eat it up. Yeah, the thing's maybe a meter or 20 meters. We notice it just after it kills us all.
Oh my God! Hang on, this is great. Okay, this is even dumber because it actually gets dumber.
This can't be real.
I'm telling you, I'm right off the actual. I'm on the actual right now. I am reading this. I'm on the fuck website am I on? Oh, okay. I'm partially taking this back. I didn't realize it ended up on Wikipedia. But nonetheless,
This is bitter cast members that got killed on Star Trek posting shit.
you talked about the estimated diameter in meters for some of these. You ready for this?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Here's one. Estimated diameter between 80 and 260 meters.
Oh, that's very helpful. Thank you. It could be.
A lot of these are really, really close. Like one of them is between 309 and 321 meters.
It's somewhere roughly between the size of a fruit fly and a Buick.
Between
Scott. That's
92
helpful.
and 300. Oh, there's one. It's exactly 5 meters. That one they got.
That was exactly 5 meters, is it?
It's 5 meters.
Exactly. 5 slaps in the face for these guys just making up shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that
was
one's
not
exactly
discovered
5 meters.
before impact.
That one is either 1 meter or 52 meters. That one, It's probably 30 meters, could be 400. But that one, that's exactly 5. How do you know the exactly 5? You're lying.
Oh, that was the one that hit Russia.
Well, yeah, they know after it hit. I'll give them
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so.
Oh wait, there's 2.
I'm really
What was
sorry I
this?
brought this up. But
I'm
I
not.
am,
This is hilarious.
we're officially out of time. I'm gonna have to pick this up again later, because I actually have a time limit again until I get my shit sorted.
Eric, there's one between 220 and 710 meters.
Yeah, of course there is. I could have guessed that. You can come to me, I can give you those kind of numbers myself. So,
270 and 860.
yeah, now they're just pulling shit out of a hat. That's just they got a dart board, but they throw 3 darts at a board and add up the numbers. Fuck.
I'm loving this so much. This is fucking the greatest thing I've ever read.
100 to 800. Fuck you.
Oh, there's a big one between 1,000 and 3,100.
Well, of course. Why stop there?
Let's get into the quadruple digits. It'll be fine.
This is ridiculous. I don't even. You know what? I have to go because I have to go. But that is just that was supposed to be a serious scientific discussion, and it turns out nobody's having one.
No.
So I have to go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, but that's an hour and a half in. We did a good long one for you. I'm glad we're back doing it. Get your emails into us, and until the asteroid comes, try to take care of each other. I don't know. You might not have time. Who knows?
Buy a helmet.
Buy a helmet. Oh my God. We'll pick this up again tomorrow when I come back with some solutions. I'm
No,
gonna have to pick this
I
out for
cannot do it tomorrow. I am getting a sleep test done tomorrow. I'm going to find out if I have sleep apnea tomorrow.
everybody. Okay, cool. Well,
So we're going to talk all about that because I want to talk all about that when I have my
I'm gonna say yes. I'm just gonna say you do, or
Okay.
there's a 50% chance you don't.
I think it's somewhere between 1 and 100% chance.
It is. It's way within that, with a variance of plus or minus
400%.
another 400. I hate you, NASA. If the Earth is flat, I'm pushing you guys off it.
Right to the fucking lip.
We will see you all. I will talk to you all on Tuesday.
And I will see you all on Wednesday.
You'll be there
No,
Tuesday, right?
Tuesday night.
Or possibly Sunday. We don't know. It's between Tuesday. No, it'll be Tuesday.
We'll let you know after.
After the show happens. I hate everybody. I hope you all have a terrible night. Send in your emails. Those numbers down below. Just kidding.
Hope prayers is Lord.